Come here, you. Come here, you. Oh, I didn't know you were behind me. Oh my God, sorry. Good morning, guys. Decided to bring my little pixie into the picture for a change. She's not one who wants to be up here when I'm recording. Don't know why. But good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you're all having a great day. Great Saturday, I hope. Yeah, oh my God, it's 8:45 here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And welcome, welcome. If you're new here, I really appreciate you being here, and I would appreciate all of you subscribing and liking and commenting. It helps this single mom of kids and dogs. But yeah, hey guys, I want to talk about this today because I was watching some videos this morning about how many people are leaving the United States, just leaving. I'm still in my PJs, guys. I'm kind of lazy this morning, and it's still early to me. Then I'll shower and everything for the day. But I thought I'm going to have my cup of tea and talk to my viewers and just kind of have a little bit of a lazy morning. But yeah, I was watching videos of people who were they're leaving the United States, or they've already left to another country because they are fed up with what the U.S. has become, which I can't blame them. And I watched videos of people who have already been settled and living in another country, and they're talking about how happy they are, how very happy they are, how much wherever they happen to be, the cost of living is less. Some of them showing the places that they live and how much they're paying. I was really shocked at some of the lower prices on, just different places. But they were talking about how the main reason they wanted to leave is they're done working themselves to death here. They're done with the way people are now. People are so unkind all over the place, which is true. They're just tired of the whole United States living. They're just tired of all of it. And some of the ones I watched that are already settled and have been living in another country for a while, hearing the things they say, it makes me envious. It really does. They're talking about how much kinder the people are where they live, how people are less stressed, how they're not so consumed with consumerism, with stuff and buy. They're talking about how they're living a much simpler life, a simpler, quieter, easier life than what they had here in the U.S. And it makes me really sad that this is what our country has become, because our country used to be considered the best country in the world, and it's not anymore. There's no doubt. You have to be blind and ignorant to think that this is the best country in the world. Yes, we have a lot of freedoms that other countries, some countries don't have. But on the whole, it's gotten to where I think people are just tired of working themselves to death just to survive. They're just tired of working nonstop just to meet their basic needs, and they're filled with stress. Like the ones I watched, that's what they talked about. They talked about how their life is so much less stressful where they live now, and just listening to them talk, you can see that they're being genuine. They're telling the truth. And I just watched one where gotta have my green tea, where she is literally packing up her kids and moving to Bali. And she said she can't wait to get out of here. She can't wait to raise her children in a happier, safer place. I watched a lot of them talk about how their biggest concern is the safety here, especially in the political environment now, if you know what I'm talking about. We're living in a very very uncomfortable, very not safe feeling time now. You just don't know what's going to happen. And seeing the places that they live and how and the ones that really I find really interesting are the ones who they had a six-figure income here in the U.S., you know, living in a fancy home and having fancy everything. They gave it all up to go somewhere else in another country, and their income has dropped, their standard of living is lower than what it was, and they are happier. They are actually happier. Like the one guy said, I was working 70 hours a week to keep up the lifestyle that my wife and I and our kids had. He goes 70 hours or more just to have that fancier home and fancier car and this and that. And he goes, it was killing me. He said it was just killing me to work like this. And it made me stop and think, yeah, now and now that they've raised the retirement age to, what is it, 67, I think it is, they want you to work until you die. They want to raise this to where you work until you die so they don't have to pay you Social Security. And he was talking about how moving out of this country to, I forgot where it was that they said they moved to, but he said that, oh, it was Mexico. Yeah, they moved to Mexico. And he said that they can't get over the difference in their life. The stress level has dropped. He said we no longer value stuff and fancy this and fancy that so much anymore. He said now we're seeing the value of our life is the time we're spending together as a family, the time he's able to spend with his children, the time he's able to spend with his wife, the time that they're able to be together as a family and just do simple things, go to the beach. They like going to the beach, or just walking around a little, you know, what do you call it? Like a little flea market or a food vendor area, or, you know, just little things. He said that they are now spending together as family. Whereas before, it was just work. Both he and his wife were working nonstop to sustain that lifestyle here. And he said, we're very happy in our little house. We're very happy with our little car. We're happy now. We're not stressing about 10 million bills that we have to get paid off and work those insane hours in order to pay them off. And it's just sad to me, guys. It's very sad. No, no, Lily, no. It's very sad that we have gotten to the point in this country that people want to leave. I watched a woman, she works in the real estate business, and she said she has never in her entire 30 years of being a real estate agent seen as many people leaving the United States. She said, I've never ever seen this. And she said it's astounding to her how many people are selling their homes, and she goes, and these are, she goes, the majority of the people that are doing it, she said, are people who are well-to-do, not, you know, not filthy rich or anything like that, but well-to-do, making a good income, that type of thing. She said they are getting out. They are realizing that by living here, they're not going to be able to sustain their lifestyle. And she said that the majority of them are, as they put it, they're tired of the rat race. They're tired of the rat race of just trying to survive. And a lot of them, they were talking about how the one thing that they noticed the most is the kindness. The kindness that, sorry guys, the kindness that they're seeing in the people from other countries, the neighborliness, the coming together of people in their neighborhoods, the helpfulness if someone gets sick or something needs done in their little house or apartment, whatever, the neighbors come together to help one another. They were talking about how the togetherness is just unbelievable. It's like the one said, she said, there's no comparison to what we were going through in the United States, where we didn't even, like she said, we didn't even know our neighbors. We didn't even know them. And we'd been there 6 years. And she goes, we didn't even know them. And the one said, as soon as we moved into our little house here, this was the one in Mexico, she said, as soon as we moved into our little house, which is plenty for what we need, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, kitchen, little dining room area. She goes, it's all we need from that thing we were living in before, that huge place. And she goes, and the first day they moved in, she said the neighbors were coming over. They were coming over to welcome them, to bring them food, to bring them desserts and yummies, you know, and just welcoming them. And she said, we couldn't believe it. She said, we moved into the house we were in the States. Not a soul came over to say hello. Not a soul welcomed us. She said it was a whole different world, completely different. And it just makes you wonder. You know, I worry for my kids and my grandkids, what the future holds for them here in this country. I really do worry about that, because of what we see going on now politically, what is transpired in terms of so much hate, so much bigotry and racism, and so much evilness seems to have been released. It worries me, you know, my kids and my grandkids, and if they'll have something like Social Security when they retire, when it's time for them to retire. You know, it really does concern me, because things aren't that great. I mean, yeah, there are countries that are much worse than ours, of course. And then there are countries that I am seeing by watching these videos of these people who have already moved. They are talking about how happy they are. Just plain old-fashioned happy with their life, with the calmness of their life, with the not having to work themselves to death every week, you know, every month, every year. Like the one said, we have learned to do with less in order to, or how did he put it, I work less hours and we've learned to do with less, and we could not be happier. Could not be happier. And I just think it's amazing, guys, what's happening in our country. I mean, even where I live, the neighbors are locked in their houses. Everybody's locked in their houses. Everybody's just, you know, locked in their houses all day, all night. It's not what it used to be when I was young. I'm 70. So when I was young, it was a different world of neighbors coming together, talking, sharing times together, you know, making food for one another. I remember it very, very well, seeing my parents talking to all the neighbors and visiting them, and they would make a dish and bring it to another, you know, neighbor. I mean, it was a completely different world when I was young. We got to play outside till the lights came on. Didn't have to worry about it. We'd eat breakfast, go play, lunch, go play, dinner, hang out at home and go play. And we had to be home when the street lights came on. My parents didn't know where their kids were. They was just go play. Well, that's not possible now because of all the sick and twisted people in this country. It's just not possible. It's a huge risk for a child to even be in their front yard anymore. So yeah, I listened to some of these people talking that have moved, and it really got to my heart. It really got to my heart, like, wow, they look so happy. They seem so at ease. They seem so peaceful. They seem like they're content and their life is fulfilled. And their children, there was one, they were talking on the camera and their kids were running off to who knows where. And she just looks at them and she goes, "Be back in about half an hour for lunch." And I thought, oh my God, you do that here, you might not ever see your child again. Yeah, to me it's just it's a very sad state that our country has become. People locking their doors, you know, with every kind of lock you can think of to make sure nobody comes in while you're gone or goes in while you're asleep, alarm systems, you name it. The one guy said it doesn't exist where he lives. He said there are people who even leave their doors open at night for the cool air. And I'm thinking, oh my God, the day I did that, I would die of fear leaving my door open, going to bed. So yeah, guys, I just kind of wanted to touch on that because after seeing those videos this morning, I was like, dang, I remember when I was younger how different it was, how very, very different it was, and the fears that are around now. If you're not the right color, if you're not the right sexual choice, if you're not the right race, if you're not the right religion, you have something to worry about in this country now. I mean, that's the bottom line. You do have something to worry about now. And to me it's sad, and I think back to when I lived in Germany, and I was talking to one of the neighbors, and she was telling me about how her grandma was so sick, and I was like, oh my God, I hope she can afford all of her care. And the lady looked at me and she goes, "What do you mean afford it? Our country takes care of us medically." I was like, what? And she goes, "Oh, she doesn't have to pay for anything. She gets all her medical care as well as any equipment she may need at home. It's all taken care of." I was like, here, it's like, you don't have the money, we don't care if you don't die, or we don't care if you die. It really saddens me that this is what our country is, and I worry about my kids and my grandkids, what they have when I'm long gone, what their life will be like here. I really do. But I just wanted to touch on this, guys. As usual, my camera, you know, one day I'll get another one, but I just wanted to touch on something that strikes me a lot. It's like, wow, listening to all those videos and listening to those people talk, and you could see their joy and happiness within them. Wow, what went wrong here? What went wrong? Anyway, guys, Pixie and I say goodbye. She's getting restless. She wants to get down. So I will talk to you guys later. I gotta put her down. Oh, there we go, baby, with her leg. So take care, guys, and tell me how you feel about the U.S. or wherever it is that you live. I don't know. I'm sure all of you have problems wherever you live too, but things are pretty bad here in the U.S. Take care. I will see you later. Bye-bye. Oh, Lily, you weren't the star this time and you didn't like that. Oh my gosh.